Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and this is Hiring America. For the next 30 minutes, you'll see stories about military veterans and their families. Hiring America is a show that provides real career opportunities for veterans and features stories about remarkable organizations supporting the military community. Stay tuned, and you'll learn more on how you can support this vital mission.
This week on Hiring America, a career development program in Phoenix provides coaching, mentoring, and a reality check for military spouses.
We tell them the truth. At Amplify, we're not always sugarcoating it, and sometimes the military spouses need to hear the honest truth of what it takes to get into the market.
We'll share some tips on building a resume and answer the question, how do you go about finding a military-friendly company? Hiring America starts now.
The Armed Forces provides amazing training.
I think about veterans as people who have already figured out how to serve.
My military skills have been essential.
Hiring veterans is a great business case. They're the best employees we have. They're flexible, hardworking, and they're used to a global workplace.
If that isn't an asset to any company, I don't know what is.
Hiring America, the award-winning television job fair for American veterans. Connecting you with companies who know your value. Learn about employers who are actively hiring today and organizations that support veterans. Your future success starts right here on Hiring America.
Hiring America, produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served.
Welcome to Hiring America. I'm Lauren Wonko. Today's show is dedicated to military spouses and the value they bring to the workforce. We'll discuss the challenges they face finding and maintaining employment and how that ultimately impacts our military's readiness.
We have project managers.
Thanks to organizations like Hiring Our Heroes, job opportunities and hiring attitudes are slowly starting to change for military spouses. But with an unemployment rate well over 20%, there's still a long way to go. That's why a small group of military spouses signed up for a focused 2-day career preparation program called Amplify.
When I look at my resume, I just think oh, you know what I mean? Where some people look at their resume and they're like, look at me, you know what I mean? Coming into this, I felt really oh, my resume sucks. Nobody would want me. I don't have any real career experience. So when I saw Amplify, I thought it would be a really great opportunity to just kind of get some information and move forward.
Amplify is a 2-day career intensive designed around military spouse employment issues. So we work with a cadre of no more than 45 military spouses and take them through everything from elevator pitch to resume and LinkedIn profiles. We match them with a mastermind in the industry of their choice.
I've never really felt confident in my skills. I have lots of people skills.
The mastermind's job is to be there for the spouse and not only guide them in the job market, but as an individual and a professional, as a human, really. So the mastermind is really supposed to take that high-level approach, really listen and deep dive into the cues that the military spouse may be saying, and go from there.
What is your urgency for a job right now?
I came here because I have been a military spouse for 20 years. Empty nest, husband retired, and now I am ready to get back in the workforce.
I would love to figure out what is truly going to be it for me.
I learned about my resume. I was unsure as to whether or not to put my volunteer experience in, but I learned here that dynamic has changed. We had a state agency here today, the Department of Economic Security. They help people. They want to know that I like to help people.
We really encourage them to just be honest, share their stories, but mostly talk about their passion for the job that they're interviewing for. The more they can talk to me about why they want to work for the Department of Economic Security, that they have that same heart to help people, that is going to win any hiring manager over, because it says that they've done the research, they understand who we serve and the kind of people that we are here to help.
Work-life balance, okay, I'm using air quotes,
because we know there's not a lot of balance.
We tell them the truth. At Amplify, we're not always sugarcoating it, and sometimes the military spouses need to hear the honest truth of what it takes to get into the market, and hear that employers aren't going to just be handing it to them, but they have those tools and resources to be able to be successful and get those jobs.
So I've told you about me. Tell me about you.
I went to law school at University of Arkansas in Little Rock.
Okay.
Make no mistake, military spouses and their children serve. They don't wear the uniform of the day. They do wear the mindset, and they do wear the culture and live in that community. They serve in so many ways.
In the past, there were many employers who, when a military spouse applied for a job, would blatantly comment that I can't hire you because you'll leave in 2 years. For heaven's sakes, they're moving every 2 years and readjusting their life. They are amazing leaders and organizers, and I think employers, especially USAA, we're figuring out that, wow, it's us that needs to adjust.
Companies are really starting to embrace not just veterans, because I think 10 years ago the focus was very much on veterans. The companies are starting to see the value that military spouses bring.
I am so encouraged to see the climate change. Over the last decade, it has been a tremendous joy and passion of mine to watch military spouses flourish and understand that they have so much to give back. The tenacity that military spouses show when they go into the employer, you can actually feel the energy and the passion for them to get back in the workforce.
Those little tips and strategies that you can put in place to make yourself more visible.
Yeah, a big piece of Amplify is reinstilling how to tell your own story. I watch these spouses when they get comfortable with themselves again and comfortable with their skill set and plug in. I mean, the employers come back to us over and over and say, I'd hire a spouse again in a minute.
They have a tremendous skill set, they are incredible workers, and they have a tremendous value to provide to any organization of which they are a part.
I love the drive of military spouses. When you get them in their comfort zone, if you take them away and you're just one-on-one with them, the drive and just their passion of what they're doing is incredible.
They have definitely boosted my confidence and given me the tools to build my resume and build my LinkedIn profile so that I can feel confident, like putting it out there to potential employers.
Being in a room full of ladies that get it, and we're all in the same boat. We've kind of had our different trials, but for the same reasons.
It's satisfying to know that my experience is not mine and mine alone. I'm not isolated in what I'm going through. They're going through the similar things as well, and we can all learn from each other and help each other.
To find out more about career development available to military spouses, visit this address at hiringourheroes.org.
These career tips for military spouses and veterans are powered by USAA, a proud supporter of America's military.
For military spouses in particular, if a company asks you in the application process if you're a military spouse, you want to answer yes if you can. That means they have gone through a lot of legal work to be able to ask that question.
With Hiring Our Heroes, we actually have corporate partners. You can find it on our website where it shows all of the partners that have dedicated to hiring both the veterans and military spouses.
You can come to hiringourheroes.org and look at our partner list and know that those companies are dedicated to hiring military spouses specifically.
There's also a wonderful Department of Defense program called the Military Spouse Employment Partnership. They come in and they have made the pledge to hire military spouses, so that's a great resource as well. You can find them through Military One Source.
It's really worth it to Google or just search the company that you are interested in and military spouse and see if they've got a hiring initiative or a program.
Still ahead on Hiring America, a look at Arizona's groundbreaking license reciprocation law and what it means for military spouses.
Whether you make your living as a plumber, a barber, a nurse, or anything else, you don't lose your skills simply because you moved to Arizona.
Arizona is quickly becoming one of the most military-friendly states in the country. In fact, a law recently passed in Arizona could have a big impact on military spouses trying to create portable careers.
With this legislation, Arizona becomes the first state in the nation to grant universal recognition of occupational licenses from other states. House Bill 2569, Law of the Land.
They recently passed legislation here to recognize licenses from other states for many different industries, for industries that require a state license, such as nursing, cosmetology, accounting. Many of those have licenses where a military spouse may need to relicense themselves in every new state where they live. But Arizona has passed legislation that for the majority of those industries, they will recognize the license from another state.
The challenge that spouses have oftentimes is that they are situated into a community. They're living in a community, they're working there, they love their job, but their partner gets moved to another state, and so they have to leave a really great job and come into a new area and start all over. And it's really hard because in a new state, that job that you had before may not even exist.
At last number, I think Governor Ducey said there's 600,000 military veteran service members throughout the state. That's a huge number. So we have this culture of connection with the military in Arizona.
With over 300 companies moving to Arizona over the last several years, what about the little guy? What about the single mom who needs to make ends meet? The entrepreneur who wants to start and scale a new enterprise? They're not asking for anything special, just their shot at the American dream.
So these occupational licenses are now accepted in the state of Arizona from the other states. So if you have a cosmetology license and you're cutting hair, or you own a barber shop in one state, you can transfer that license to Arizona and start working immediately. It's very, very helpful.
We know that there's dignity in all work, and we know that whether you make your living as a plumber, a barber, a nurse, or anything else, you don't lose your skills simply because you pack up a U-Haul truck and make the decision to move to Arizona. Let's grant them an Arizona license and let's let them work.
We are committed to the military community at USAA. We're committed to serving the community both through our products and services, but we're also committed to serving it in terms of its betterment. Whether it's employment opportunities for spouses, for prior service, for currently serving guardsmen and reservists, we're committed to that, and we want to be even more in that space.
We're excited that the governor and the state of Arizona is as supportive of veterans and their spouses as we are. And so for us as a company, that's actually why we came to Arizona. And we would not have done that if we didn't feel that the state of Arizona was supporting the military and their families, because that is our mission.
These career tips for military spouses and veterans are powered by USAA, a proud supporter of America's military.
First thing you have to remember about a resume is it's an extension of your story. So you need to be able to show someone what you offer.
Oftentimes, military spouses struggle with the chronological resume because they're afraid that to an employer it will look very, very choppy, especially if they've had several moves. So my suggestion to military spouses is to move away from a chronological resume into a skills-based resume and make sure that you're highlighting how you've developed and gained skills and competencies. So that usually takes off the pressure of, oh my gosh, they're going to think I job hop.
And many spouses, I find, are hesitant to list volunteer opportunities mixed in with paid professional experience. But I've talked to hiring manager after hiring manager, and if you've earned that skill and you can back it up with data, it doesn't matter if it was a paid position or a volunteer position.
If you've been able to bring a volunteer team together and lead them and teach them and develop them, can you imagine what you'd do if they were being paid to do it for you? So we actually think that's a positive.
And if you can think of a branding word about yourself and say, I'm a connector, I'm a facilitator, for example, then how do I make that show in every job I have listed on my resume? How do I show the next employer that that's who I am and that's what they're getting?
I'm a veteran. My victory was admitting I had PTSD and getting help.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I no longer see it as a weakness, but as a sign of strength. I call it post-traumatic growth.
DAV provides a lifetime of support, helping veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I am a veteran. I lost both legs in Vietnam.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans so they can reach victories great and small.
My victory was getting my benefits and a good education.
I'm a veteran. When I got out, I felt like nowhere was safe. My victory was finding the help I needed.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
Thanks to DAV, now I feel like I'm human again.
Help support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Each year, Operation Gratitude sends more than 250,000 individually addressed care packages to soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines deployed overseas and to their children left behind. This massive effort is powered by passionate volunteers who believe our troops deserve a big thank you.
I just like all the service members and people out there who have given up their daily lives to be out there working for us, to know how much it is. We really appreciate what it is they're doing out there, and because of what they're doing, we get to enjoy our freedoms here.
Believe me when I tell you that there's thousands of people that care about you and support what you're doing overseas.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because what you do is so incredible and so inspiring. It's just, I can't thank you enough.
I am so grateful for what you do for me and my family, keeping us safe.
Thank you for fighting the good fight, for taking care of us, keeping our borders safe, keeping our country safe. It's a hard job you've got, and, you know, we're safe because of you.
I hope that anyone who sees this overseas takes the message of today and sees all of these hundreds and hundreds, probably over 1,000 volunteers who've given up their day today because they want to say thank you to you. They want to express their appreciation, their gratitude for all that you and your families are doing for us individually and us as a nation. And so the big message is thank you.
For more information about jobs and career development, visit our website at hiringamerica.net. And we want to hear from you. Send an email to info@hiringamerica.net. Tell us about your challenges and your successes, or send us a question and we'll try to answer it on an upcoming episode of Hiring America.
For many years, it's been my great honor to have been able to dedicate much of my time to supporting the veteran community. The Gary Sinise Foundation fills a critical gap for veterans and military families with a range of initiatives. The foundation builds adaptive, smart technology homes for our most severely wounded service members, serves the children of fallen military heroes, and provides education and outreach to bring together civilians and the military community. If you'd like to learn more or get involved, please go to GarySiniseFoundation.org. And remember that while we can never do enough to show our gratitude to our nation's defenders and their families, we can always do a little more.
Thanks for watching. The information we've just shared is all on our website, hiringamerica.net. Log on and find out about more companies who are hiring veterans, and connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channel, where you can find helpful tips and full episodes of the show. I'm Lauren Wanko. Join us again next week for another episode of Hiring America.
Hiring America, produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served. Promotional consideration provided by JetBlue, a proud employer of those who served.